Let's go now to retired General Mick McGuire, former F-16 pilot, once head of Arizona's National Guard. He's also trained Ukrainian officers. General, first of all, thank you for your service. And given your knowledge of the Ukrainian forces, I assume you're probably not that surprised by how fiercely they're fighting here.
Yeah, Jonathan, thanks for that. And to you and Griff, thanks for doing this. I'll tell you, I'm not surprised at all. John Kirby just mentioned it. I said this on night one on a network, that the Ukrainian people have had a taste of liberty and freedom, and they're just not going to surrender. You saw the call for a surrender unconditionally in Mariupol pass this morning. There is going to be an outstanding and tremendous amount of devastation physically to the structures, but the people have learned to take cover. And my bigger concern, Jonathan, is the ability for them to get food, ice, water, medical supplies, and power in those areas. It's much less about the devastation to the structures, because the Ukrainian people are fighting proudly there.
Yeah, and General, I want to tap into your experience flying F-16s and therefore your thoughts on a no-fly zone. President Biden coming to Brussels this week. He's going to talk to NATO leaders. No-fly zone doesn't seem to be on the table. Should it be?
Well, yeah, what I would say is you mentioned in the previous segment about the movement of the MiGs and other defensive counter-air capabilities, S-300s, obviously the things we've given them, Stinger and Javelin. We need to provide all lethal aid to Ukraine, including those MiGs. They don't plan to go on offense. They are defending their nation. Relative to what's happening on the ground there, they have definitely stalled. They are not advancing. The counteroffensive is going quite successfully for a country that is outgunned. And on the no-fly zone, we got a call for a ceasefire immediately from the Russians. I'm hoping that President Biden and other world leaders can compel that. Look at something like the Berlin airlift, where we begin getting humanitarian aid in there. And unless there's a violation, work that way. But we can't just put our fighter aircraft over their airspace without escalating this conflict. We've already seen how desperate Putin is getting with indirect fire hitting these cities.
And, General, I just want to play a quick soundbite here from Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby about the logistical problems the Russians are facing, and I'll get your reaction on the other side. Here's John Kirby.
They're still having fuel problems. They're still having trouble feeding some of their troops. They're having trouble with command and control on the ground. So they've made missteps of their own.
Now, General, it seems very basic. Fuel and food. How did the Russians get it so wrong? Quickly, if you can.
Well, you bet. They tried a three-prong attack. It requires a lot of logistics, a lot of sustainment. They failed in that area, and this is the reason they're stalled. And the Ukrainians are counterpunching quite effectively. I expect them not to surrender, but we need to get a ceasefire for all the non-combatants that are in there, Jonathan. We pray for the people of Ukraine.
General Mick McGuire, we thank you for your service to our country and your service to our viewers tonight. General Griff, back to you.